What's up, Wrangler Nation? Welcome back into another episode of Wranglers Weekly, brought to you by 575 Pizzeria. I'm Guy Carenza, and today our special guest is Daniel Rassega. Daniel, thank you for joining me here today.
Thank you for having me.
Daniel, you've had a big last couple of weeks, and it started against the Oklahoma Warriors, who we're going to see this next weekend. But you got your first North American Hockey League goal against the Warriors. That started off a big weekend for you. Kind of take me back to that goal, how it happened, and how it felt to finally get that goal.
It felt great. It was a great chip from the D or Noah Ribeiro. I'm not sure which one. I don't really remember. It just happened so fast. And I just had so much time and space, I didn't know what to do with it. So I just took it to the net and it happened to go in.
Yeah, and that weekend was big for you, and especially that night. You had 3 points that night. You were the South Division third star after that weekend. So just tell me, what was working for you that weekend?
My whole line was just taking pucks to the net. We were shooting, getting rebounds, and it was just working. They just couldn't handle it.
And how much of that is because of your new line mates, playing with Noah Wood and Ty Azadi? You guys were fantastic that weekend. What's it been like playing with them and developing that chemistry?
I mean, me and Noah have been playing together for like the past few months, so I think we have pretty good chemistry. And me and Azadi have actually been playing against each other since we were little kids, him being on the Ducks and I'm from Arizona. So I feel like we had some like unknown chemistry and it's just been working.
That's interesting that you mentioned that you played against a former guy that you knew and now he's your line mate. Yep. It's crazy how hockey works like that sometimes, isn't it?
We've been playing against each other since maybe like we were 10 or 11 years old. So
wow. And you've always told me throughout the course of the season, you're like, when are we going to get a sellout crowd? When is this place going to get rocking? And it's been bumping sometimes this season. But that last game against Corpus Christi was at full sellout.
Yeah.
What did it feel like to play in front of that crowd?
I mean, it was awesome. It was just, I think everyone was just feeding off the fans, and the fans were feeding off us, and it was great. I mean, like, you can't ask for anything more from the great fan base of Amarillo.
And that was a big game. 6-3 win over the Ice Rays, and now you guys are right back into it in the playoff picture. You got to win a lot of these games coming up, and a lot of them are on the road. So first off, how big was that win against Corpus Christi? And with these road games coming up, how do you as a team mentally prepare to go into enemy territory and pick up some wins?
I mean, we've done it before. At the start of the season, we won all those games on the road. I think we were 6 or 7-1. So we obviously know how to win on the road. So we just have to carry that over to these upcoming weekends.
And you're one of those guys one of the few guys that was still here from opening day. There's been a lot of turnover, a lot of new faces in the building. Yeah. But tell me about that and what that's been like for you. Just seeing all the turnover, getting some new teammates, what has it been like in that regard, and especially moving forward, trying to push for the playoffs because you guys are still right in the thick of it?
I mean, yeah, it's great getting all these new teammates. It's been great getting new teammates, and like it's wonderful meeting all these new guys, and they really just came in and made an immediate impact and helped us get to the position where we could make playoffs, where we weren't in a position like that a few months ago.
Yeah, and I think the reason that you guys are in that position is because guys like you have stepped up. Your line mates, Noah Wood, Ty Azadi, another guy like J.S. Pack, a newcomer.
Yeah.
We're sliding right into the lineup, playing like he's been here since day one.
Yeah.
So first off, tell me how you got into hockey. Like from day one, what made you want to get into hockey, and how did you end up here in Amarillo?
So when we lived in Nashville, my parents had just gotten married, and they had me, and they were season ticket holders with the Nashville Predators. So my parents were going to games while they were pregnant, and then once they had me, I started going along with them. Obviously, I was a baby at that time, but then they put me on skates or rollerblades at 18 months old because we were good family friends with the now assistant advisor for the Panthers, Paul Fenton. So that's how I got into the hockey, was the Nashville Predators organization.
And tell me about where you've been playing before, prior to joining the Wranglers, and how some of those ties led you here to Amarillo.
So I was playing on the Coyotes, and former Wrangler Cody Gilling was our assistant coach. So he connected me with Hoodie, and then that's how everything really got into motion, and that's how I'm here.
We're happy to have you here, and you've been awesome here this season. And earlier you mentioned about playing against Ty Azadi throughout the course of your youth. Now you're his line mate, but there's also some of those former teammates of yours on the junior Coyotes that are scattered throughout the South Division here.
Throughout the
You're going to
South.
see one of them here this weekend.
I will.
And Isaiah Yates, and you've seen Jacob Solano, another one with the Rhinos throughout the course of the season. So what's it been like seeing those former teammates and playing against them now here in the North American Hockey League?
It's fun. I mean, you can't ask for anything more. Like, you see those guys, you want them to do good, and you see them doing good and growing and playing against them. I think Isaiah Yates got his first goal recently, so that's always good to see as you're just watching your friends do good.
Friends off the ice, enemies on it?
You know, of course.
There you go. So outside of hockey, what are some things you'd like to do?
I'm a big golfer. Unfortunately, there's not much golf here compared to back home. I enjoy golf. I enjoy working out at the gym. You know, playing pickup basketball in the summer. Not really in season because it's kind of dangerous. But yeah, that's about it. Hanging out with the guys.
There you go. That's all about it. You got a couple big golfers on this team. Were we a big golfing team?
No, we're not actually. Like, you normally go to these teams and there's a few good golfers, and maybe there's only a couple of us that golf. So
Interesting. I know last year we had a lot of big golfers.
yeah.
This year, I guess not so much.
Not so much.
Interesting. And recently, you've given me some music to listen to. You told me about the Deftones. Understand that. And you've also had some input, or some suggestions, I should say, on our pregame warm-up playlist. So I'll ask you, what gets you fired up before a game? What are you listening to pregame?
So I actually don't use headphones. I just listen to whatever Mo's play. But if I had to choose, I'd listen to like some rock or like some stuff that puts some hair on your chest. So
What are you talking about specifically?
maybe like some Metallica, some Audio Slave, stuff like that, some old stuff. That's personally what gets me going.
That's some good stuff. So Mo as the aux, I mean, as the captain, he's got control in the aux. And Welly with the A, does he have a hand in that too?
Welly is
I mean, you got some seniority now. I mean, Mo and Jacob Miller are like the only two that predate you, so.
That is true. Yeah, but everyone is older than I am pretty much.
That's true. I mean, you are an 06 birth year, but I don't know. Tell me about that because, I mean, you're one of the younger guys on the team, but you've also been here longer than most guys on the team, so what kind of dynamic is that like for you?
It's good. I mean, everyone here is like, we're a team. Like, I know a lot of teams have a lot of divide, but we don't. Like, everyone really gets to like chip in. Obviously, there's some things that are like the older guys decide what goes, but you know, we really do have a lot of say. It's really nice.
And I mean, outside of listening to whatever Mo puts on as part of your pregame routine, what else are you doing to prepare for a game?
I don't know. I don't like to get like too nervous. I find that if I like sit there and focus too much, I get in my own head and then I psych myself out. So I like to like be focused but also loose at the same time.
Okay, that's interesting. And like during a game, if you feel a little bit rattled, what helps you calm down in the moment?
I'm a very emotional player. Like, I want to be rattled. Like, I need to be like in the game. If I'm not, then I have no like emotional ties.
That's interesting, but hey, I dig it. And one more thing that I've noticed about you is you're very fast. You're a very fast skater. When we saw it in the last game against Corpus Christi, when you scored game-winning goal, fourth goal of the night, in a 6-3 victory, what goes into your off-season training that helps you build up that speed?
So first of all, I'm very blessed with good genetics. Both my parents ran marathons, so I was blessed with big legs off the bat. But it's a lot of like explosive work. I like to run with the weighted vest. I've been showing Miller and Mo recently. They've also been running with me, but that's really what goes into it. It's a 40-pound vest, and I do sprints and like explosive work, and that's really what gives me more speed.
Hey, it's working. It's working pretty good. And so, big games coming up here down the stretch. We talked about it before, a lot of them on the road. It starts this weekend in Oklahoma. You guys are coming off of the bye week. First off, how beneficial was that bye week going into the home stretch here, especially being outside the playoff picture? And what do you guys need to do to come away with big points in Oklahoma this weekend?
I think the bye week, it could be beneficial. We just need to like lock in like we were before. We were kind of hot and we had the bye week, so we just need to keep that rolling through. It was great to have rest, but we just need to dial it back in. And these games against Oklahoma are huge. I think we have 4 of them left.
Yeah, 4 of them left against the
4 of
Warriors.
them left. I think we need to win at least 3 of them, hopefully 4, but minimum 3.
Hey, if there's one thing I've learned over the years, you can't count out the Wranglers. And it's going to be fun to watch down the stretch. You can watch those games on NATV or listen in on our YouTube audio stream on our YouTube channel. I think that'll do it for our episode here. Wranglers Weekly, presented by 575 Pizzeria. Daniel, thank you for joining me here today.
Thank you for having me.
Much appreciated. And best of luck this weekend in Oklahoma. I'm Guy Forenza saying so long, and we'll see you on the next episode of Wranglers Weekly.